Hello and welcome to my awesome health journey. I am Brett Dupree, and today I'm talking about shame. I'm mostly thinking about that from my workout where I hopped for the first time at Orange Theory. They do a lot of exercises every once in a while where you do hops, like hopping your um, feet going in and out or front and back. And generally speaking, I would do side steps or maybe just do calf raises when they did that. But on Saturday, I was like, you know what? Let's try hopping. You know, I always reminded of that Red Dwarf joke: faith, hop, and charity. With the most important being hop. 7 Day Hoppinists, where they hopped everywhere. Well, anyway, so I hopped, and at first, I was mostly just paying attention to my ankles and knees and my lower body, and just making sure that my body could handle hopping, even if it is like, probably at most an inch off the ground. I was not like I was trying to Air Jordan out there. Not that I could ever, but you know what I mean. Not like I was jumping about my highest. I was just hopping, and when you were where I was, when I first started, I wouldn't hop. I could barely walk or stand. But yeah. So after I was paying attention to that, one thing I did notice is that the skin that holds in my man boobs and my big man stomach hurt. And then of course I looked in the mirror, am I jumping, and like, sheesh, everything's up and just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. And of course I just felt a wave of shame as I saw that fat bouncing. And then, to the right is somebody on a bike who has a mirror, and if they're able to see behind them, they had a great show of me bouncing all that belly boob fat. And there was just, at first, of course, this wave of shame, as like I've been ashamed of being fat. And I remember there was this stand-up comedian named Bill Maher who thinks he's an intellectual, but I don't know, I think he's an idiot. But he had this rant about like shaming fat people, and I can tell you, being shamed, feeling shamed has never made me want to lose weight. Well, it made me want to lose weight. It maybe made me able to for 3 months at a time before the bad feelings overwhelmed me, and I felt bad for not losing the weight, and and then go back to eating and not working out and generally putting on more weight than I lost in a cycle of yo-yo dieting, because that's what shame always did to me. Shame has never actually made me have long lasting success. And I think the only way shame really works is if you truly can consistently hate yourself and are the type of person who is told what they can't do, has to prove everyone that they can. It's a spectrum, but fight or flight. If you're the type of person who like tries to fight every goal, fight every problem, and punch it out, a little bit of shame might be enough to self-hate your way to a healthy living. But if you're like me, a type of person who tends to shy away from conflict and not deal with my problems, shame eventually will get me to run away from my problems and run away to my favorite comfort thing, which is food. And just feeling that, and just I was thinking about that, and how like shame stopped me from really going out, leaving my house, hanging out with friends. There's that feeling of shame all the time, and making me feel more shame never helped. Like, I don't think shame is a really good motivator, at least especially for a lot of people long term. I know it wasn't for me. I mean, I might be able to hate myself enough to get myself to work out, but eventually I hit a plateau, and I would, or I'd mess up and shame myself for eating too much because I was starving myself, and then I'd binge eat for 4 days before telling myself I would start on Monday. And sometimes it'd be, oh, I messed up this Monday, I'll start next Monday, because I love starting at the beginning of the week. Or the other part where, like, I feel so much shame and I hate myself and I'm working out and I'm telling myself, don't eat, you're weak. And then all of a sudden I start looking better and feeling better and that shame goes away. And all of a sudden that's just not a good motivator. All of a sudden I can eat an extra 3 boxes of Oreos because I don't hate myself enough to get me to stop. Like, shame has never helped me. It's never helped me at all. I think it's just loving and acceptance has helped me. In fact, being kind to myself and allowing myself to mess up, allowing myself to work out poorly, allowing myself to eat boxes of Oreos. In fact, when I started intuitive eating, I gained like 30 pounds. And allowing myself to gain those 30 pounds and learning how to be kind to myself as I don't demand perfection from myself, I've now had the most consistent health journey that I've ever had in my life. I've never lasted. If you count the year before CrossFit, I was a year and a half before CrossFit. I mean, if I talk about working with my nutritionist and my therapist, so even if you don't count, if you count that, I've been consistently working on myself for like 3 years, and it's taken a while. This is the longest I've ever worked to get to a point. I've never had such slow progress, but I've had consistent progress, and I haven't stopped. And during all the times where I had fast progress, by this time I would gain it all back by now. I've had consistent decreases for at least now almost 2 years of about 2 years in March, January, February, March. From 2 years in March or February, March, I've had consistent losses in my weight. So this learning not to shame myself has been so helpful in my health journey, and learning self-kindness and really loving myself and allowing myself to mess up and making my mistakes just be mistakes in the moment and not an indicator of what type of person I was and not who I am, and not listening to outside forces and worrying about what people think about me, because I know where I was and I know where I'm going. And up the ziggurat, split, or so. Man, I need to watch Red Dwarf. Anyways, thank you for watching. I love you for who you are, and thank you for all your support. And as always, you are worthy.